What you are witnessing is one of, if not the rarest event to occur in Roblox, period. This event is so rare, it's estimated to have a 1 in 1 trillion chance of ever being discovered. And with no footage of it available, we are forced to recreate this in order to have a visual of what it could look like. This event occurs in one of the most popular horror survival games on the platform, that being Doors. And in this video, I'll be explaining the crazy story behind it, and why it's so infamously rare. Alright, so for those who don't know, Doors, like many horror games, has monsters, known as entities, which can kill you throughout the playthrough. Every time you die to one of these monsters, one of two characters known as Guiding Light and Curious Light will greet you after you die and explain what killed you and how to avoid it next time. The light character you get depends on which location you die in, and this is crucial for a reason I'll explain later. Now, the rare event I mentioned in the intro of this video is a very specific death message given to you by Guiding Light, who is the blue moon symbol character who greets you in the game's main floors, or levels, those being the hotel and the mines. But what makes this death message so rare? I mean, finding something with a 1 in 1 trillion chance is pretty much impossible. Just so you get a sense of scale, a trillion seconds is equal to 31,000 years. Well, it all comes down to how this dialogue can be encountered. Now, before we continue, I have a massive disclaimer which I need to make apparent. The numbers presented in this video, including that 1 in 1 trillion chance, is based on loose pieces of evidence that aren't directly confirmed by the game's developers. So it's possible the chances of this event occurring are different from what is said in this video. Still, this is the best estimate we have so far, so I'm rolling with it. Anyways, let's continue. Essentially, indoors, players have the chance to find naturally generated items around the game. These things can spawn anywhere, in cabinets, on desks, even in toolboxes sometimes. Now, of course, like with any balanced game, more powerful items are often rarer and harder to find. Indoors is not an exception to this rule. For example, the most basic light source in the game is a lighter, which is fairly easy to stumble upon whilst looting various rooms, whereas its upgraded version, the flashlight, is much harder to come across. However, in the game's latest update, named simply the Content Update, a new item was added to Doors, one far rarer than anything else we have ever seen, that being the Glitch Fragment. The Glitch Fragment is a very unique item, as it's both very rare and very common depending on the circumstance. Essentially, this item has two ways of spawning, either naturally or being forced by players. Every location of the game, including main floors and subfloors, which are like secret mini-levels, have a very rare chance of spawning glitch fragments. However, in exclusively subfloors, glitch fragments can be forced to appear by encountering an entity known as Glitch a few times in a row. This can be done by simply lagging behind your teammates for a while, which forces the entity to appear and teleport you back to the group. Now, almost everyone obtains glitch fragments through the second forced way, as finding them naturally is an incomprehensibly difficult challenge due to their rarity. However, what if we stopped for a moment and took a look at finding them naturally? Just how rare are these items to find out in the wilderness? Okay, so by now, most of you know how the glitch fragment spawns, but what does the item actually do? Well, upon being clicked, the glitch fragment will immediately disappear, but in the process, it will spawn one of 3 unique glitch entities. These are modified versions of common monsters found in the game, and they're a lot more difficult than their normal counterparts. If you manage to survive a glitch fragment entity, you'll be rewarded with one of several perks, including more items as well as complete invincibility for a short amount of time. Yeah, the glitch fragment is a pretty powerful item if you can handle the danger it brings on. But wait just a minute, do you remember how I said at the beginning that the Guiding Light and Curious Light characters appear after dying to an entity? Well, they can also appear when you die to glitch fragment entities. As you may recall, depending on which location you die in, whether it be in a main floor or subfloor, you'll either be greeted by the blue Guiding Light or the yellow Curious Light upon your death. Guiding Light only appears in main floors, whereas Curious Light only appears in subfloors. And given how glitch fragments can spawn anywhere, both characters actually have different dialogue which can appear for when you die to a glitch fragment entity. Now, as I had stated, glitch fragments can easily be forced to spawn in subfloors, where solely curious light is present. But that same functionality doesn't exist in main floors, where guiding light is present. This means that although it's very easy to see Curious Light's dialogue for dying to a glitch fragment entity, as you can just force glitch fragments to spawn multiple times, the only way to see Guiding Light's dialogue for the same entities is if you find a glitch fragment naturally. Now, despite the rare odds of finding a glitch fragment, it still has been found naturally a multitude of times. In fact, I'm pretty sure the first ever glitch fragment found naturally was encountered mere minutes after they were first added to the game in the content update. A lot of people have seen Guiding Light's dialogue for dying to a glitch entity just by finding a glitch fragment naturally in the hotel. So, surely its spawn chance can't be 1 in a trillion, right? Well, that isn't the full story. You see, most entities and threats in the game have 3 unique death messages from both Guiding Light and Curious Light, which appear depending on how many times you die to that threat. In other words, the first time you die to an entity, you get 1 unique message, the next time you get another, and on your 3rd death, you get the final unique message. This same logic applies to the glitch fragment entities, and given how only 1 entity and by extension death message can appear per glitch fragment found, if you want to witness the 3rd death message, you have to find 3 glitch fragments. Now, throughout this video, I've been saying that finding a naturally generated glitch fragment is rare, but I've never really specified just how rare. I did that intentionally, as I now intend to do that. According to some sources, which as I had said before are not 100% confirmed, the chance of finding a naturally spawning glitch fragment is 1 in 10,000. I think you can see where I'm going with this, but given how the probability of encountering multiple independent events can be calculated by multiplying the chances of each event together, the probability of finding 3 natural glitch fragments, given that finding 1 is 1 in 10,000, is equivalent to that times the power of 3, meaning the chance of finding all 3 dying to the entities they spawn and seeing the 3rd Guiding Light dialogue is 1 in 1 trillion, making it one of the rarest events to occur in all of Roblox. With a probability like this, you'd probably expect the dialogue to be gatekept simply because nobody could realistically encounter it. However, that actually isn't true. You see, there are bugs in the game that allow you to repeatedly spawn glitch multiple times in main floors, and force glitch fragments to spawn, but those typically aren't used by players and are hard to master. However, there is actually another more odd method of seeing this dialogue, and that is by dying to a glitch fragment entity in a subfloor. You see, Guiding Light and Curious Light are supposed to have unique dialogue from each other regarding glitch fragment entity deaths, but for some reason it's currently bugged, and Curious Light actually displays Guiding Light's dialogue. So if we just force a glitch fragment to spawn in a subfloor and see Curious Light's dialogue, it'll be the exact same as what Guiding Light has to say due to the bug, meaning we can actually document this previously thought to be impossible to encounter death message. However, at least as of recording this video, I've yet to see any footage of players using other bugs to see Guiding Light themselves actually stating this dialogue. So until then, we are just forced to see it in Curious Light's yellow color rather than in Guiding Light's blue color, which really isn't too much of an issue. Still, it's pretty crazy how this bug just happened to occur for just these death messages alone so we can see them, as without it we would likely never have known what Guiding Light would say on your 3rd glitch fragment entity death. Still, just keep in mind these probabilities aren't confirmed, so don't be surprised if it ever is revealed my numbers are off, as let's face it, they probably are just a little. But I still think it's cool how it's possible something indoors could be this infamous and difficult to encounter. So, to summarize, the rarest event indoors is witnessing the 3rd glitch fragment entity dialogue from Guiding Light, which has an estimated 1 in 1 trillion chance of ever being found by a player given the hypothesized spawn chance of a glitch fragment. Yes, the rarity of this death message is kind of undermined by how it can somewhat easily be found through the Curious Light bug, and other exploits which force glitch to spawn on main floors, but finding this legitimately in-game is a feat which nobody will likely ever accomplish without an insane amount of luck. So, with all of that being said, let me know if you've ever found even 1 naturally spawning glitch fragment in the comments, because let me tell you I haven't. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.